go. Hey, hallelujah. Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. Yeah, I'm trying to be a little quiet right now, okay, but I know it's gonna get ramped up because I get so excited. Tonight, the top 11 go head to head before the public vote. The show started with each of the coaches saying a few words about Prince while the place was bathed in purple, even like the sides of the chairs and stuff. It looked very good and they had wonderful words to say. Of course, rest in peace, my brother. He was a musical icon and he surely will be missed. TeamAdam started us out with Shalyah fearing She Did the Climb by Miley Cyrus, and Adam told her that she needed to enunciate better on the beginning in the verses and also to give it her all emotionally in the big parts. So y'all know I heard her give that little hum in the beginning as she was getting into this, and she took that note about enunciating and really spit out the words. Her emotion was written all over her face while she was walking down stage, and she showed a nice little grit in the second verse, and by the end she was preaching to the crowd and ended in a nice riff. Adam and Pharrell stood for her. Blake said it's exciting to see her develop in front of their eyes. Christina called it a beautiful rendition and said Miley would be proud. Pharrell said you could feel that this was aspirational for her and she sealed it with a high note at the end. TeamPharrell had Daniel Passino do Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, and in rehearsal Pharrell told him to work the audience and go and sing to the girls. So Daniel started with just guitar and voice and it sounded so good. He was touching hands and singing to the girls with such a nice sweet tone, some nice little trills and melodic liberties. I thought it was a nicely touching rendition and head and shoulders above last week's vocal performance. He also threw in a nice little falsetto note near the end after I thought it was already done, and I was like, oh, all right now. Blake called him so smooth, strong, and cool. Christina said she's seen his confidence blossom under Pharrell. TeamBlake next had Paxton Ingram do Break Every Chain by Tasha Cobbs, and Blake suggested that he start the song in a lower key and do 2 modulations during the performance. So I was already getting little chills while he was singing rehearsal on this, y'all. He was so active and engaged as he started this, and his voice was so powerful throughout. I wasn't crazy about the repetition, but the modulations and the addition of the background singers on stage lent more excitement and gave the song more of an arc. All the coaches stood for him, and I literally was like, I was having chills and stuff while he was singing, and then afterwards tears just started coming to my eyes, and I was like, oh Lord, I'm just a church boy, I can't help it. Get into good old praise, and I'm ready to go along with you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, come on, let's go. Hey, hallelujah. Pharrell called it an unleashing of power. Adam called him an amazing performer and said it was the perfect song and he was blown away. And if you're blown away by the commentary, make sure to thumb it up and let me know that you are appreciating it, that you are enjoying it. This is Robert Anton. I thank you guys so much for your engagement. I thank you for your thumbs. TeamAdam was up next with Owen Danoff doing Fire and Rain by James Taylor, and Adam advised him to really be a fan of the song and to really emote. He also suggested he start out acoustically. So this came in with a close-up on his face to show the emotion in his eyes, and he was reminding me of like Paul Simon, like Simon and Garfunkel. He always connects well to his lyrics, and his voice sounded pretty good on this, but there wasn't a whole lot of room for it to soar. Good coffee house and storytelling song choice, but not so much for a competition, though he did ramp it up a bit near the end, but the vibe just kept pulling him back down into that smooth, soothing sound, and it just really didn't, just no wow moment. Christina said nice job and called him a great storyteller. TeamBlake had Mary Sarah do Johnny and June by Heidi Newfield, and Blake noticed some breaks in her voice and called it special sounding, but didn't really give her any on-screen critiques. Mary had such a mischievous smile as she started this out in such a great lower tone. Then she launched into her upper range, which had a nice ring to it and also some depth at the same time. She really seemed to feel these lyrics and had some nice little movement going on. And just the little things she was doing and her little dips and stuff and her kicking into it and walking, I was like, go ahead, you feeling this song. I enjoyed this performance. Christina called her consistent and strong. Pharrell said he didn't know how to judge the song because he didn't know it, but told her that her dress was very distracting in a really pleasant way. Awkward. But how come there's a lot of songs on here that he don't know that you could have judged that song. You know how her performance is. You don't have to judge what the song is about. All you got to do is tell her, oh, you did this well, you didn't do that, did you look good here, you sounded great here. What did you, oh my goodness. I judged the competition that was Chinese Idol for 2 years, and they were singing Chinese half the time. Of course I didn't know the songs, but I could tell how they were emoting. I would tell if they connected to the song. I could tell if they were, if their voices sounded good or not. And a lot of times my scores were coming out very close to the scores of the Chinese people who were judging. So don't tell me you can't judge the song. Anyway, man, you paid to do it. You paid a lot of money, so do it. Rant over. TeamXtina had Alison Porter do Stay With Me Baby by Lorraine Ellison, and in rehearsal, Christina advised her to go for a long, extended, held out note at the end saying be more theatrical as opposed to being more Janis Joplin with it. And I wrote, didn't LaPortia just do this song on Idol? I'm gonna have to go back and juxtapose them against each other and see like how they compare. This started out nicely laid back and gave her a lot of room to ramp it up, which happened as soon as she headed into the chorus. Her intensity was really great and she presented as a strong, in control artist as she fell to her knees to beg and plead, giving us the drama. Her range is just crazy and so even throughout, and it doesn't come off as shrill. I noticed that she had some nice coverage going on in her tone. Great big note ending and all the coaches stood for her. Adam called her as the winner again. Blake said his favorite thing about her is the moment she's having and the way she's owning it. TeamXtina, Bryan Bautista did Just The Way You Are by Bruno Mars, and Christina told him to put some jazziness in there and told him to add some runs on some of the endings, and she demonstrated. He dedicated this to his sister who was in the audience, and it was a very sweet old school arrangement with a nice swing, and he sat right in the cut while popping out some really good high notes. He also did a little Mercy Mercy Me moment in there, you know, from Marvin Gaye, but the grind motion was kind of out of place. You dedicated to your sister, he was grinding. I was like, okay, now that's kind of creepy. I like the dynamic and I love the rhythm changes. Kudos to the band. Very subtle but definitely very musical. Pharrell called it effortless and called his power in the upper register crazy, while the other coaches echoed him. Adam said he had the greatest range of anybody and called it pristine and powerful. TeamBlake had Adam Wakefield do Lights by Journey, and Blake told him to use even more falsetto and also told him to change some things away from the regular melody. So Adam said he wanted to Otis Redding this out. Did he achieve it? Let me know what you thought down in the comments. He sat at the piano to begin this and I was enjoying the little riffs he was doing. He had a nice little thing going on, but I was waiting for them falsetto notes that I heard like while the package was going on, you know, in the background when I was bouncing to the music, enjoying myself. The acapella moment where he came off the piano was really nice, and this was pretty good, but I don't think he did what he wanted to do with it. And it seemed to me like when he finished, he wasn't happy with his performance. And I will tell you a possible reason that I think why. Because he maybe is not so used to always using his falsetto, and if he was doing it a lot in rehearsal, he may have over-rehearsed and lost it. If I am doing too much falsetto stuff, that's the first thing in my voice that goes. I can sing all day and all night in my chest voice, but that falsetto, if I get too much going on, I just can't get it the way that it needs to be. And I think he might have gotten to that point by the time he did that. Kind of over-rehearsed the falsetto and wasn't able to get it out the way he wanted to get it out. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Pharrell said he had some Steve Winwood in him and said he made it super soulful. Adam said in one performance he traversed a lot of musical ground and couldn't think of anything that he can't do. TeamXtina had Nick Hagelin do Your Body Is a Wonderland by John Mayer, and Christina told him to get more into the song earlier because he didn't hit his stride until the second verse, and she's saying bring that energy and stuff to the first verse. Nick played the guitar for this and started out a little nasal, but the feeling was good. I actually liked when he sunk into his chest voice. It was natural and pleasing, but he got more nasal as he went higher. Of course we got some falsetto, but it didn't feel overused. It also wasn't very pleasing for the most part because it wasn't very forward. Him getting the crowd to clap along before the ending was a nice touch. Blake liked seeing him playing guitar and connecting to the song and compared his looks to Jason Bourne. TeamPharrell had Hannah Huston do I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. Love this song! Pharrell started arranging this song for her while continuing to say she's taking control. So there were 3 pianos on stage as she started out, or was I just dreaming, or was there a mirror or something? Her voice sounded beautiful as she directed her vocals through its paces. She also had a nice connection to the lyrics and she looked stunning in that dress. Some nice vocal turns and extended notes from her. Very touching and personal performance. And did I say she looked really good in that dress? Adam mentioned the unique character in her voice and said it knocked him out. And in the pimp spot tonight, Laith Al-Saadi did Make It Rain by Ed Sheeran. Make it rain! Adam advised him to save a little in the first verse and then gave him some dynamic pointers on arcing the songs at the ending, saying it needs to come down and then get big again. Laith set the mood so great for this with those first few little riffs in the beginning on his guitar, and it kind of reminds me of like when I say I want somebody to come in with like he was doing that with his guitar like I was like, oh boy. His voice also fit the song very well, and it's a current song that fits his style like a glove. The Southern preacher vibe was in full effect, and his gruff and growl were perfect for this. Adam and Pharrell stood for him. Blake called him a breath of fresh air for the show and said they all wait to hear what he's going to do every week. Pharrell pimped out his music that he's already released. It was like, everybody go buy that right now. And that's it for the night. Who do you think did best? Who do you think is in the bottom two? And who do you think is going home? Robert, you got so many dang questions. Yes, because I want to know what you think. Thank you guys so much if you stuck around. Thomas Rhett is performing on the Results Show tomorrow night. A few of the coaches are also performing with their teams. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I am out.